Hi, my Teletubbies. It's me, SheilaTruelove. And I first want to tell you about why I like making these videos in terms of narcissism. The number one reason why I like making these videos in terms of this narcissistic nonsense is because there are so many people out here who have been hurt and they don't understand. They didn't get the closure that they needed. How could this person do this? How could this person do that? They said they love me, but this what? They just up jumped and did this, they did that, and they don't understand why. So I figured by doing these videos on narcissism, this is going to give you the closure that you need. And actually, it makes things so much better. It makes it simple for you. It does. Why did this person do this? Because they're narcissists. And this is what narcissists do. You don't have to sit there and wreck your brain wondering, how could this person have done this? How, and you sit in their basket case if, waiting for answers. That's my number one, and I do mean that, my number one reason for making these videos. Now, let's get started with the next topic, which is narcissist failure with new supply. Their new supply, you think they're riding off in the sunset, having the time of their life, honey? Is so not true. You have to always remember that the narcissist is never, ever, never really happy. They suffer from so much internal misery and pain that it is impossible for them to be happy people. You should not believe that the narcissist has moved on and is now basking in the sunset and is starting a new life, and you've just been left in the dust and that you never really mattered. That is so not true. Another thing, your worth is not defined by another human being, especially not by a narcissist. We know that we have all had some type of trauma in our lives at one point or another. It could have been trauma from our parents who were doing their very best, but they were working with limited resources. And we're all really just trying to do the best that we can. And sometimes that just doesn't show up in the way that we need. When you are an empath like you and me, we are highly sensitive people. So we're more in tune to other people. We want other people to be happy. Sometimes we want other people to be happy even at the expense of our own happiness. And we really need to change that. We need to reprogram that so that we remain happy and keep our power while still loving and protecting the people that we care about. We need to ask ourselves, first of all, what is true happiness? True happiness means that we can stand on our own 2 feet and that we don't need anything outside of ourselves to validate our worth. The narcissist is the exact opposite of that. They are constantly seeking and searching for narcissistic supply because they are unfulfilled and empty without other people to validate them. So they go out into the world and they have to prove themselves every single moment of every single day. Otherwise, they feel drained and feel like they're going to die emotionally a slow death. They don't have an internal validation or an inner parent within themselves like we do. New supply is nothing more than a shiny new toy that they pick up and throw away because they get bored, just like a child gets bored with a new toy. You notice how in the beginning you get your kid a toy, the kid is excited about this new toy and they feel like they could play with this toy forever. But then they get bored and they want a new toy and then another new toy. And this cycle continues on and on. Once you start to have opinions and you start to have your own needs and you make this clear to the narcissist, they feel that you have failed them. The sad thing is that even though they need people as much as they do, they actually hate the fact that they need people so desperately, which is why they resent you and me so much. They hate it, that they are needy. That's why when we tell them that we love them, that's when they start the devaluing stage. That's when it begins. Because they feel they are not worthy of being loved. So how can this person really love me? What, are they stupid? I mean, are they naive? Are they really easily that fooled? So in that moment, that's when they took you off the pedestal that they had you on. Remember, emotionally, they are children. Going back to the toy, when a child throws a toy away, they don't feel empathy or feel bad about it. They just toss it to the side. This is what they do with people. It's the same thing with people. When they toss or throw people to the side, they don't feel bad about it because you're just a toy to them, an appliance, just like a tool. They are really miserable human beings. If that's what you call, if that's what you want to call them, human beings, that's what the point I'm making. They're miserable, I can't even get the words out. Human beings, and I have to stumble on that point. Human beings, yeah, sure. Mutants, I call them. Once they see that the old feeling that they always eventually have comes back, even with the new toy that they're playing with, they're going to realize that I'm still empty. I'm not happy. Their happiness disappears. You can never be truly happy if you can't manage to have that inside self, that inside yourself, and you have to depend on outside sources for it. You'll never be happy. Your happiness is supposed to come from within you. And that's something they will never have. You have to get validation from within yourself to be truly happy. And narcissists, like I said, will never, ever have this. They're going to blame the new supply for the crappy way that they're feeling again. That emptiness, loneliness, worthlessness, and being unlovable. They're going to have all those feelings again with the new supply. They're not going to look inside themselves. They're just going to blame you or blame their new supplies. They're going to blame them like they did us. They blamed us. You're the reason why I feel lonely. I have this loneliness that never goes away, this worthlessness that I feel. I feel so empty. You're the blame. Instead of looking inside themselves, that's never going to happen. So remember, a narcissist never enters a relationship for love or for a true partnership. They enter relationships to ease their internal pain. Okay? Now keep that in mind. And this is SheilaTruelove reminding you that you always have a choice. The choice is always yours. And until the next time we get together, I want you to have an amazing day. I love you. Goodbye for now.